Hello, you. It's me. And I just watched a video from Radiant Brit, and she had some very good points when it comes to Gypsy. Um, she finds it frustrating and a little sickening that she's been put on so many platforms, that she has been idolized and respected, and she doesn't deserve it. It's disgusting that you take a person who has done such a heinous crime in such a heinous way, and people are celebrating her. And I get that. I get that. But that's actually why I like talking about Gypsy, is because I was one of those people who cheered her on when she first got out of prison, because I believed all the media garbage. I believed all that stuff, that she was a sweet, innocent victim and got caught up in a terrible thing and blah, blah, blah. I believed it all. I remember watching the Dr. Phil interview, and I thought she was just a little sweet darling. I had no idea. And I think that's why so many people, when she first got out, was celebrating her. Yes, kitty. I have a beautiful little kitty on my lap. Makes it hard to talk on the microphone, but she's a little cutie. Yes. You sit down. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I get it, but that's why I like to talk about Gypsy, because I too was fooled for a long time, until things started coming to pass and I started seeing the reality of Gypsy, which is also why I put up this picture with Dee Dee, because Dee Dee wasn't an abuser. I mean, a lot of people like myself who were abused and neglected as children, we identified with the lies that Gypsy said, and we had a true empathy for her lies, because we didn't know they were lies. Now we know they are. Dee Dee was no saint, but she wasn't abusive either. And for Gypsy to change her story about 50 different times at how she was abused by the hands of her mother, it's just lies, it's deceitful, and it's triggering. It makes me really angry, because Gypsy is no hero. And that's why I like to talk about her, because she isn't a hero. She is a disgusting subhuman being who planned the murder of her mother, and then did it, and then blamed it on the poor Nick, who didn't necessarily have the mental capacity to understand what she was doing. She used sex to manipulate him, and he was easily manipulated. And I find it so sad. And I hope that Nick finds justice, and I hope Gypsy does too. That's why I like being on here. That's why I like signing petitions to get her out into the public. Alice Down the Rabbit Hole made a much better description of I. There is a way around the double indemnity thing. That's why I signed her petition. Because Gypsy should not be getting away with this. I don't even care. I didn't even care about what she did to Ryan, because I've seen that happen a lot of times in those TV shows, Life After Lockup, where the prisoner who's now being let out, the criminal, hooks up with somebody temporarily till they can get to the person they actually want. That's like a trend with a lot of people on that show. I don't know if it's a trend with people who are in prison. I have no idea. But on that show, it seems to be a normal trend where they will romance somebody who is willing to take them in, pay for them, and take care of them until they can get back to the person or people that they want to be with. You know, it's just all part of their criminal behavior. And Gypsy was no exception to that. She is just like every other criminal. There's nothing special about her. The only thing you could say that's special about her is the attention that she garners constantly, or puts herself in the middle of drama in order to garner more attention, because she really has become kind of a D-list celebrity. But we can change that. You know, more and more we see who she really is. And I think people who were fooled by the media, like I was originally, are seeing her for who she is. And they don't really care. I don't really care about her baby. I don't really care about her being with Ryan or Ken or Dan or Nick or any of the 200 or so people that were writing to her in prison. I think she even hooked up with some of the ladies in prison. You know, that happens. But anybody who's been around her for any length of time knows she's not a good person. And it's starting to come out more and more that she's not a good person. And she doesn't deserve to be free. She doesn't deserve to be out. And the concern that I have is if there really is a baby. I mean, she's playing all this fuck shit, but if there really is a child, that child's in danger, because Gypsy can't be trusted. Gypsy can't even stay home past a month to take care of her child without having to go on a date with Ken. It's like, are you serious? It's insane. She doesn't seem to take any interest in her child. There's no connection that I can see. I've seen a few lives and pictures and things. There's never anything having to do with a baby. It's all with her. Or she talks about the baby, but she doesn't talk about the baby as if it's real. Again, it's like an accessory. And that's the only reason why I really care, is because, one, I don't want her to kill another person. You know, even if they're not a good person, I don't want her killing other people and then ending up back in prison again. I want her back in prison again, but at another loss. You know, if the baby is real, I don't want to see the baby getting harmed. Although, if the baby is real, like I said, she doesn't seem to be really paying much attention to it. Neither is Ken. So, a lot of you have made comments that Ken's family and Gypsy's family, immediate family, are more than happy to lie for them, and I believe that. I believe that Rena sounded the most believable, Ken's mother, but I believe she would lie for her son. I don't know if she did it for Gypsy, but maybe. Since they're together or they're not together, who the fuck knows? Again, don't really care. What I really care about is I don't want to see another person dead because of Gypsy. That's what I really care about. And I don't know. I guess, again, we'll just have to wait and see. But June is coming up. And I guess we'll wait and see what happens then. But my prediction is, because she thinks she's the smartest criminal in the world, my prediction is she will probably be going back to prison within the next year or so. Oh, and there's another thing that Radiant Brit mentioned that I didn't even know, that there were cocktails served at her book signing. And I knew that there were probably alcohol served at the Jazz Fest. And of course, alcohol is served, because it's promoted by Bud Light, at the concert that she just went to. What is wrong with her parole officer? I mean, she just I can't speak. She just outright She just outright does things that should be putting her back in prison again anyway. How does she get away with all of that? It makes me very angry. And that's why I talk about her. Because I want to see justice being done. And it hasn't yet. And people like her who just think they're criminal masterminds who can do no wrong, she'll slip up. I'm waiting. But I think if she does get off parole in June, then just wait. It'll happen. It'll happen. But anyway, I understand what Radiant Brit was talking about, but that's the very reason why I want to talk about Gypsy, is because people are putting her on a pedestal and people are looking up to her and respecting her, and they shouldn't, because she's disgusting. Anyway, that's all I got to say.